pay gap exists, even though there's extensive research
Now in that pay gap controversy between Mark Wahlberg and
how
Michelle
that
Williams.
20-cent wage gap actually
The gender pay gap is the difference in wages between full-time working men and women. Throughout American history, some sort of wage gap has always prevailed. In the early 20th century, women made up about a quarter of the workforce, but they were traditionally paid far less than men, even when performing the exact same job. Efforts to correct the wage gap escalated during the World War II era, when many American women entered factory jobs in place of men who had enlisted in the military. In 1945, Congress introduced the first Equal Pay Act. This would have made it illegal to pay women less than men for the same work. However, this failed to pass. By the 1960s, women could expect to make about 61 cents for every dollar a man made. Finally, under the administration of President John F. Kennedy, the Equal Pay Act was passed in 1963 to prohibit unequal wages and benefits to men and women working the same job. So now, women live happily ever after, right? Wrong. As of 2019, women in the United States are paid from 77 to 80 cents for every dollar paid to men. While a difference of about 20 cents may seem trivial or rather unimportant, that difference adds up to about $10,169 a year, and over a 40-year career, the average lifetime earning losses compound to about $430,480. That discrepancy could be the difference between being able to pay off student loans or having student loans throughout one's life. This lifetime loss could also contribute to at what age and how financially stable a woman is when she can retire. Additionally, considering that half of all households with children under 18 have a female breadwinner, children raised in these households are raised with less money and are put at a disadvantage compared to families with male breadwinners. This wage gap exists no matter the education level. Starting in high school, the difference in wages is 21%. With some colleges, it is a substantial 49%, and it continues to decrease to 12% with a doctoral or professional degree. Taking this into account, it is clear that no matter the education level, a woman is likely to encounter the wage gap. Moreover, America's wage gap is evident in nearly every occupation across all industries. This wage gap remains pervasive in 97% of occupations, making it very hard for women to escape the wage gap. Additionally, this wage gap exists in nearly every sector ranging from agriculture and manufacturing to education and health services. As seen, some industries have slightly smaller wage gaps, such as construction at a difference of 92.2%. However, financial activities have a difference of 70.5%. Differences like these can make certain industries more favorable to women based solely on the fact that the wage gap will be slimmer. Setting a limit on what women can do is simply not right. Being a woman in the workforce, what does the wage gap mean to you?
To me, it's men doing the same job as women, but women are not being paid equally. And I've found that happens more at the beginning stages of employment when women enter the workforce versus men. That men just seem to be paid higher, or actually are paid higher than women in the majority of cases.
Have you ever had an experience with the wage gap?
Yes, I, as a matter of fact, have had an experience with the wage gap. When I was out of college, my very first job was with a bank, and I was promoted from a credit analyst to a credit manager within the first year. At that point in time, I discovered that the two gentlemen, that we were all equals as credit analysts, and then when I became their manager and had access to their paperwork at that point in time, they were making several thousand more a year than I was. And I brought this up to my manager at the time, and he even stated, "I'm so sorry, it does appear that's what's going on, but that's just the way it is." We had very equal qualifications and the same amount of time in the working world, so there was all things were equal other than they were men and I was a woman. So at that point in time, I did put my resume out and find a new position and a new company where I felt that I was being more equally paid. But that was my experience with the wage gap.
At the current rate of America's wage gap, experts warn that women and men will not reach equal pay until the year of 2059 unless something changes right now. In order to shorten this time, stronger and more effective fair pay protections and practices must be passed now to protect women's wages. In addition, women throughout America must stand up together for equal pay and not accept anything less than equality.